Alright, this is my 2-minute review of the Nokia Lumia 521 for the T-Mobile network. This phone, I first want to talk about the hardware. The hardware on this phone is very nice. It's got a 1430 milliamp hour battery, a dual-core processor, a 5 megapixel camera, and a 480 by 800 touchscreen display. And for the price that I paid for it, it's a very, very good phone. It runs very smoothly, the camera performance is good, and there's just a lot of good things to say about it. I used the Nokia Lumia 928 as my daily driver, and I haven't noticed any performance differences between the 928 and this lowest of the end Nokia phones. It runs very, very smoothly, and the only thing that I could really complain about with the hardware is the soft keys at the bottom of the screen. The Bing search, the start button, and the back button are not backlit. So that's something to keep in mind if you're ever using the device in a place that's dark, but you do memorize them fairly quickly. Also, the addition of a hardware shutter button, which is included on all Nokia devices, is a very welcome addition. But with that, let's just jump right into software. This phone has access to a ton of Nokia exclusive applications, such as Nokia Here Drive, and Nokia Here Maps, and Nokia Music, which are all three really great services. In my experience using Here Maps and Here Drive, I've never been lost, and in my experience with Nokia Music, the curated playlists are very, very good. So I'd say that the Nokia exclusive applications are a great value add on the software front. The only complaint I have is that you don't get access to the Pro Camera software, but with a camera like this, I don't know how much you're going to be able to do to really improve the photos. They're already pretty good. And lastly, let's talk about that camera. Let's talk about camera performance. Initially, when I got this phone and heard about its 5 megapixel camera, and since it was the lowest of the range Lumia, I expected the camera to be very, very poor. But the camera pictures it takes are actually quite sharp and detailed, and the colors are very accurate. It really shows that Sony makes great lenses even for low-end Nokia phones. They can really shine through even though it's a very low price point. And lastly, let's talk about battery life. In my experience using this phone, I've found the battery life to be just about on par with every other Lumia device. It will last about a day of Wi-Fi usage, and it definitely will not last through a whole day of cell usage. So that's something to keep in mind. You're going to definitely need to do some battery conserving if you want to use this phone as your daily driver. But if you're just looking for a second phone to be around the house, a spare, or just want to experiment with Windows Phone 8, this is a great entry point, and I think you'll be really impressed by the software that it shows. Well, this has been my 2-minute review of the Nokia Lumia 521.